Good morning. Welcome to today's edition of Hard Talk with Uchechukwu. Today I just want to talk about, quickly in a few minutes, I just want to talk about us as a people. What is our responsibility? Last time we discussed our education, but I think I need to take it further and ask, what is our responsibility? What do we do when we have this education, and how does our education influence our activities? How does our education influence what we do as people? So recently I went out to discard my trash, and when I got there, I saw a few things. Number one, somebody came to discard his trash. He didn't just, discard it in the sealed nylon as provided by government. He came there, untied the nylon, and poured it in. Now, I also, of course, I saw scavengers who were trying to make money by picking stuff from the trash that they will resell. Now, this is trash. Let me also paint another picture for you. When you're in traffic, you notice that a small traffic builds up. And as a Nigerian, you probably would have seen this anywhere in the country. A little traffic builds up somewhere. You notice that once a line starts forming here, the very next person joins the next available space. The next person joins the next available space. Now, a single lane that is supposed to be moving in one direction now has 3 lanes formed, blocking oncoming traffic. And that's when most times traffic blocks. I also paint another picture for you. And I don't want to give a percentage, but a lot of Nigerians do not follow traffic rules. So you see a traffic light somewhere that is asking you to stop. Nobody follows it. I mean, a lot of people will not follow it. They just jump it and move on. And if you wait there, you want to wait a little to, at least for the thing to turn green before you can move, the person behind you will so much blow his horn that even you are tempted to move. I mean, it takes a lot of thick skin for me to stay there. And when I put all this together, okay, I'll paint another scenario for you. Recently, the state government started installing, modifying their bus stops, installing fine-looking bus stops and all that. And, I asked myself, how long will this last before somebody comes to take the roof? Before somebody comes to paste, something on it, like paste an advert on it. Oh, no, don't even get me during campaigns. It will be pasted everywhere and defaced so badly. Okay, I paint another scenario for you. Again in Abia State, in Aba. And then this happens in so many places. I once noticed that the manholes for the gutters, because it was made of metal, was all stolen. I mean, somebody comes, picks it up, puts it somewhere, and disappears with it. And the people are at risk of falling into these manholes. I mean, if I show you manhole, you will fear. And you steal it and go with it. So we have so many empty spaces for gutters where people can fall in. Risks created because of who we are. I'll paint a final picture for you. In my house, I had a metal Corvette. Right? I built a Corvette with metal. I woke up one day to drive out, and I realized that one part of it had been carried. And I mean, this thing is really heavy because it's metal that was built in such a way that it should be able to carry trucks, big trucks that are delivering sand. So it was built reinforced metal, and somebody came before morning and carried it. So I had to pour concrete over the remaining ones and then formed the rest with concrete. Now, all these examples I've given is not the fault of government. So, we can stay and say our government is bad. We can say it as much as we want. And I'm not denying that we have issues with governance. But what of us, we as a people, what is our responsibility? Is it government that needs to tell you that when you go to discard your trash, you should ensure that you put it inside the waste being provided? Does government need to tell you that? Is it government that needs to tell you that you don't need to you need to leave the thing tied, that you don't need to go there and pour it? Because the way you are pouring it, who will pick up the trash? Does government need to tell you that as well? Does government need to tell you that if you come to a traffic light, you need to stay? Does government need to tell you not to spoil any of these things that belong to government? All this, every single one of it is us. It is who we are, it is who we have chosen to be. And it is because our education is not transferring into something that becomes useful to us. You go to school, you learn about anything at all, but that thing does not make any connection with your environment. No connection at all with where you live. We are learning about I'm just trying to find an example that makes sense. There's no single thing that we've learned that connects to our environment such that we're able to now say, oh, as I'm going out today, this is my responsibility. I'm going to be civil. I'm going to behave this way because, my environment will be better for it. No, that's not what we do. We just go out and live life like that. And then there's no impact made by our years of education. Nothing has been transferred from our education to our way of living. And that, for me, is one of the problems of education I talked about. So, get this. This is not a talk about education. It's a talk about you. Who are you? And I'm particularly mentioning education because I'm talking to the maybe more educated people. I'm talking to the person who has been able to buy a Lexus. Okay, a Lambo. And then you will come to a traffic light. You don't have respect for the next person there. And you jump the traffic light. Not minding that an accident could occur or anything. I'm talking to the politician who will send somebody to go and paste a sticker on and deface a fine bus stop that you just created. I'm talking to that man, that bus driver, that will jump, there's a traffic, and it's a moving traffic, it's flowing. All you just have to be is patient for the next 3 minutes. I'm talking to that man. You know that if you are patient for 3 minutes, this thing will move. No, you will not wait. You will enter here and stay here. The very next person will enter here and stay here. I'm talking to you. You need to change. Because this particular one, it's not government that will change it. It's you. You are the person that will change it. You cannot tell me that you are not the one that will change this. Think about it. How is government going to change that? By enforcing more rules? Now, when we get to enforcement of rules, if government actually starts enforcing some of these things, I'm not sure we would appreciate it as much. So why can't we police ourselves and be more responsible before we are policed? Why can't we? Again, to the educated, why can't we be more responsible? Because responsibility starts with you. And now, when I talk about somebody who went to steal a manhole, there's somebody who is buying a stolen manhole. It's also your responsibility, because as I'm saying this now, you are there thinking, all these people are stealing. But you bought that stolen manhole. So for you who is buying something from somebody and you know that probably this is a stolen government property, how is it possible that government will install solar lights and in 2 years none is there anymore? Not because it's no longer for, why am I saying 2 years? In 3 weeks you have stolen it all. Why should that happen? This should not be something that happens. So again, I talk to you as a Nigerian. Can you be a little bit more responsible? Can you try your very best to respect the environment you live in? When you treat your environment well, your environment will treat you well. You watch movies, you see something you like, you respect places that are clean, but you are driving on the road. You are driving. As you are driving on the road, you eat something, you open up, you eat it, you wind down, you throw it out. But maybe you get home, you say, look at how everywhere is dirty. Lagos is dirty, Aba is dirty. What makes it dirty? Because you think that you should throw it away for somebody else to come and clean? You don't see that you have a responsibility to first ensure that you discard your waste properly? I think that 50% of the problems of Nigeria will be solved if the citizens solve the problem. And first, you need to understand this. You are a citizen. And the government, the person in government who you are blaming about the problems of Nigeria is also a citizen. So, if you as a citizen is failing, you need to also understand that the person in government can fail. You don't hold him to higher responsibility, to higher expectation than you hold yourself. You should probably hold him to about the same expectation as you hold yourself. And that is the message here. What is your responsibility as a citizen? Have you sat down to ask yourself? Because introspection is when we sit down and ask ourselves, is there something I'm doing wrong? Is there something I can fix? I'm hoping that by this message, that somebody in this country and anywhere else in the world will sit down today and ask yourself, this thing I want to do, who does it hurt? Does it hurt my community? Does it hurt my environment? Does it hurt me? You know, there's so many stories. I was told a story about a man, a policeman. Again, this boils down to responsibility. About a policeman who held, and I heard this happened in Enugu, a policeman who held a doctor that was going to hospital, and the doctor was rushing. The doctor told him, okay, so this is the reason, this is an emergency. I'm going to say he doesn't care. Now, I heard the policeman received a call and now told his people, let's go. They now left the guy and rushed out. By the time they got there, I heard the wife that was already pregnant and in trouble was already at the point that she needed surgery and had all these complications, and it was that doctor that they were holding that needed to come and perform the surgery. And the doctor pleaded, I have an emergency, I have a woman I need to take care of. I said, we don't care, this is the fault we found and you must pay for it. And then when the man came, did everything, I heard the wife died. He came out, he was the one who broke the news to the policeman. The policeman broke down on his knees and cried. If his humanity, if his inner man, if the man in him, if the real man, his humanity had told him, okay, so this guy says he has an emergency, release him. If any man's humanity tells him that this is my neighborhood, and not even my neighborhood, this is my country, this is the environment I want to live in, and I want it clean, I will not discard this. If your humanity tells you this, will you discard that death there? If your humanity tells you that somebody, my sibling, can fall into that manhole tomorrow and have tetanus or die or get swept away by flood, will you take away that manhole because you want to sell? If it was your child that fell in and died, is the manhole you sold worth the value of the life of your child? We don't think beyond our stomach. We don't think beyond today. And that is our problem. We need to start thinking beyond now. Everybody, politicians, everybody, because we are all Nigerians. We will blame politicians, but the question is, are they not as human as we are?